going to. She said she's starting this. Okay. I'm not starting. Yeah, she's coming back. There's so many of you. And we kind of have to move down because, like I said, we have to stay out like the outlet. We started. Let me just make sure I've got. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. So we're going to get started simply because we are streaming this event. And I know that there are some parents that have logged on at 6 o'clock, and I don't want people to be wondering what we're doing. So thank you for coming this evening to our open house. For those of you who have never experienced it before, the format that we're going to do tonight is we have all of our teachers are going to be presenting their programs, what they teach, and try to answer any questions that you might have. The teachers will then leave and they'll go into the other location, and then we'll have new teachers come in. The core teachers will come in and they'll present what they do, and then that will be our program. So just real quick, in case there's a fire, I'm going to say there probably will not be one, but in case there is a fire, I'll just be the flight attendant for a second. There's 2 exits. So make sure that you leave the closest exit to you and get out of the building as quickly as possible. So without any further ado, I'm actually going to turn the program over to the people that you all came to see. Oh, and I'm Jody Marvin, the high school principal. For those of you that don't know me, I probably should have started off with that, but anyway, I'm going to turn over to the teachers that you're here to see. Thank you for coming.
Good evening. I'm Mrs. Rumblad. I teach family and consumer science. So I have high school electives. I teach the middle school. They have to have me. And then in the high school area, they get to choose electives. I teach independent living, parenting, food and nutrition, global and gourmet foods, clothing and textiles, and interior design. So there's a brochure out there that goes over all of the high school electives that they can choose to take. Oh, sorry. I'm also a co-advisor for the senior class with Christina Goebel. So if you have a senior and you have any questions, you can let us know. And I'm actually going to skirt out because we're doing a chicken barbecue tonight.
Okay. I feel like I should sing you a song. Hi, my name is Sandra Ranju. I am the health teacher here. I teach both the middle school and the high school health. So your kids will have me in 8th grade, and then again, usually 10th grade for health. I also teach electives that they can choose to take. I'm currently teaching life in the ER and also outdoor education, both really fun electives. So please encourage your kids to come join me next year. And I'm going to pass it on over to Kevin.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing tonight? My name is Kevin Detondo. I teach the studio art program, and I have 2D drawing and painting. We also offer 3D ceramics and sculpture in the fall, or in spring, sorry. And then we're doing a new class this year, which is kind of premiered out on the front here. It's the UHS. It's the college class that we're starting out with this year, and the kids are doing a great job. They're doing watercolors, which you can see right outside. And we are also doing the Adobe Photoshop class, which is our graphic design program. And I also do the outing club, which is on the weekends. And anybody who is interested, there's a bunch of flyers out there and a bunch of QR codes you can scan with your phone. We're going to be doing that starting next month. So here we go.
Hi. Oh. I'm Shelby Twilliger. I am the new art teacher here. I'm very excited to be here. I primarily teach for most of my classes 7th and 8th graders, but I do have 2 electives in the high school. I have digital photography and graphic design. I will also be the advisor for the art club and the GSA club. They will both be starting around October. So passing it on down.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Heck. I'm the new music teacher here at Duanesburg. So I teach 7th and 8th grade chorus and general music, as well as chorus up here at the high school and some electives. I teach intro to theater, music theory, and a music production class. I'm also in charge of the musical. We are actually moving it to the spring this year. I know in past it's been in the fall, but it's going to be in the spring this year, and it's actually going to be 6th grade through 12th grade. So we are bringing the 6th graders up from the elementary school to be included in the musical, and really excited about it. So if that's something you or your kids are interested in, let me know, and I'm very excited.
Hi, I'm Mr. Hopkins. I'm the band teacher. I teach 5th grade band, 6th grade band at the elementary school, 7th and 8th grade band here at the high school, and high school band 9 through 12. We also have a jazz band club that we're going to start next Wednesday morning. So if your kid is interested in jazz band, they could be a part of that. Also, we have independent band. If they can't fit band in their schedule and they'd like to play an instrument, let me know and we can try to get lessons worked out so they can play. I know, is that Mr. Zadanowitz there? Yep. Jason's taking advantage of that. So it's a good thing if your child's interested in learning an instrument. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Erin Milsom. I'm the new technology teacher here. I teach technology for grades 6 through 8. I also teach a few high school electives. I'm teaching basic electricity, video game design, and digital media production, which does the morning news for the entire high school. And that's about it. Pass it on.
Hello, my name is Mark Dumoulin. I am the new business teacher here at Duanesburg, and I teach a handful of high school electives like entrepreneurship, marketing, accounting, math and finance, and personal finance. We've got some big plans for the business program coming up in the next few months, hopefully. We're going to hopefully maybe add an 8th grade course to get more turnout for the business program, as well as improve our CDOS program and perhaps get an internship class that would allow our students to practice and go into a workplace and really help narrow down some choices for potential careers. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Brett Simpson. This is year 2 for me. I teach physical education. And although it's year 2, feels like year 1 because I get to meet a lot of the students this year that I didn't get to meet last year. So that's very exciting. So phys ed teacher, I also coach modified soccer that's going on right now. And we'll be taking over the boys varsity basketball here in a couple weeks.
Hi, for the interactive portion, if you couldn't tell what I teach, I am also a phys ed teacher. I'm pretty much a high school phys ed teacher. I have one section of middle school. I'm also the athletic director and the varsity softball coach.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katie Box. I teach 7th grade Spanish 1A, 9th grade Spanish 2, one section of 10th grade Spanish 3, and a Spanish culture class. I'm really excited to have all those levels this year thank you, for Spanish 2. We're going to start to get past the basics more in 9th grade and really start to do more reading and writing, more storytelling. And I like to have a lot of fun in our classes, a lot of music, games, even a little dancing. So thank you for coming.
Good evening. I'm Isabel Kalin. I am the level 3 Spanish teacher. I also teach levels 4 and 5, which students can take for college credit through Schenectady Community College. In the upper levels, we really focus a lot on conversation, speaking in the target language. We also read literature. We also listen to music, and we do other cultural activities to engage them.
Hello, my name is Mark Gilmeister. I am the 8th and 9th grade resource room teacher. In resource room, typically what we do is we focus on building and reinforcing reading, writing, and math skills, as well as some other soft skills like time management, study skills, and so on. So if one of your kids has me, they probably already know me. I've probably already talked to you, and that's what I teach.
Hi, I'm Carol Conley, and I am a special ed teacher in 10th grade this year, so I'm in the 4 core classes.
Hi, I'm Danielle Schneibel. I'm the special education teacher for 11th and 12th grade. I have resource room as well as I push into U.S. History and Government, which is an 11th grade class, and English 11 with Miss Shadina. If I have any of your students, you probably already know that. And we've probably been in touch already. So it's nice to see everybody.
Hello, this is the whole special ed section right here. So I'm 12th grade special ed. I also teach, I'm in the consultant classes for Pig and Economics this year, Math 12 and English 12, and I also have a resource room. And my name is Shannon Gordon. Did I say that? I don't know if I did. I think I did.
Hi, my name is Kristen Mills, and I'm the school social worker here. And I'm for all the students from 7th grade through 12th grade. And I'm also here to support all the students be as successful as possible as they can in school. So some of the things we do in the counseling center is we do individual and group counseling. And we also look at student strengths to help them develop coping skills, for anything that comes up during the school day. We see kids for if they're overwhelmed, having a bad day, if they're having some anxiety. In middle school, more so we see peer conflict. And we also do a peer mediation program, which we do train students for. And we also, in the high school, well, the whole 7th through 12th grade, we also run a youth leadership program. So if you feel like your kids might be interested in that, it's really promoting being good role models and promoting positive just choices throughout the school year. All right, good to see you. Am I coming?
Hi, I'm Mike Othier. One of the technology teachers. Let me take these off here. So the classes I teach are robotics, woodworking, a construction systems class, and I'm also also DDP, design drawing for production. And then we also have a robotics club after school. And if your student thinks that that might be something they want to do, we got flyers out in the hallway. So you can just grab one and look at the robot we did 2 years ago. Okay, thank you.
All right, so now you know who everybody is and what everybody teaches, and they, boy, do they talk fast. So what I'm going to have each one of them now do is give you a little bit more about what their classes are, since I think they all just kind of like rambled through what they taught, and you're probably thinking, what the heck is that? Most of you probably know this, but if you're not aware, your students do need to take elective classes. So the reason that I do have the special area teachers here is so that they can promote what they teach. So you can go home and say to your student, wow, that sounds like a really cool class. And I think it'd be wonderful if you took it. So this is their time to get to the parents, to let you guys know what we do, and really promote the electives, not the cores, which your students have to take because of New York State education. But the electives are courses that your kids actually have some say in into what they take in the high school. So I am actually going to ask each one of the teachers to spend a little bit more time, talk a little slower, so that we're all speaking through masks. So talk a little slower, really articulate what it is that you do in your classes that we offer here at Duanesburg that maybe we don't see in other districts. So I will start with Mr. Detondo because he is teaching an AP class this year, and last year he taught it, but this year he's teaching it. For being a small district, you don't typically see an AP art course for students. So I'm going to start with him and let him promote what he actually does, and then we'll go down the line. Like Mrs. Randu, she actually does teach Life in the ER course, which is really a great course for students to take who think they might be interested in the medical field. Um, they're all being very modest about what they teach, so I really want them to spend a little time telling you exactly what they teach so that you know what we offer here at Duanesburg.
Okay, so back to it. Here we go. So with the UHS class, being that it's new, I've taught here for about 20 years now. This is my 20th year. And as far as our program that's going on in the UHS, we are one of 3 in the area that actually teach it. So for a small district, like Mrs. Martin said, it's a really big deal. And our students they're excited about doing it this year. As far as the program goes, it's pretty open-ended. They give us a curriculum, which I have posted right out on the board outside there. But we start out with just line, shape, form, just the basic elements and principles. And they just say, go to it. And then you just add in as far as our curriculum goes, we add our curriculum to that so that the students can get a really good understanding as to the elements and principles of art and how to become an artist if that's what they choose to do down the line. As far as the basic courses, we went to our intro to studio art. We're just learning the basics of how to see and how to draw, how to add shading and shadowing. Most of your kids, if they haven't had me yet, they probably will at some point. So I have seniors all the way down to ninth graders this year in studio art. So it's kind of a great class. We have a mix of everybody. The 2D class is a kind of extension from that. We do drawing and painting. Excuse me. We work on that throughout the whole first half of the year, and then we switch over to 3D, which will be more of the ceramics and pottery throwing on the wheel this year. We do paper mache, and we do a lot of three-dimensional stuff, which is great. And then Photoshop is one of my favorite classes. We've been doing that for about 7 or 8 years now. And that's where we get to do graphic design. I teach them the basics. They learned all the coding and how to do key commands and all this stuff for the first, I don't know, 5, 6 months. And then we do lessons in between. So they're creating a lesson, reading a lesson, creating a lesson, reading a lesson, and they're just kind of working through it as they go. But when they're all done, they will be really very successful, and they probably could get a job if they wanted to, just as like an assistant or helping somebody in a firm if they were so lucky to get into one, which would be awesome. As far as the outing club goes, like I said, we do trips once a month. Anybody's welcome. It's open 7 through 12, which is great. I have a lot of kids every year and parents, which are great. Sometimes I have just parents and they just show up. We do a lot of hikes. We went to Holmes Lake, which is up in the Adirondacks. We've been to a couple of the high peaks. We've gone to different backpacking adventures. As far as like, we did an overnight one year to Farrow Lake, which was wonderful. We had about 6 or 7 kids there and a couple parents, which was great. So we have a great program. And I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Rondo.
Hello again. I did forget to mention that I also teach one PE class this year. I think I got a little nervous. The microphone's making us all a little jittery here, I think. This is my 16th year here. One of the electives I teach is life in the ER, and I actually see some parents that your children are in that class. Hopefully they're telling you good things. In life in the ER, we explore different medical professions, things that you could do in the medical field. Just this week, each of the students researched a different field medically, and they gave a presentation so we can get different ideas of different career paths that you might want to choose. My outdoor ed class is also really fun, and I only have about 8 students in it right now. So you might want to mention that. I have plenty of room, and there's still another day, I believe, 2 days. Friday, I think, is the last day for ad drop. So if that's something that your child is interested in, we explore lots of different topics, and I can be very flexible when I'm planning in this because there's so many different areas I can talk about. And what else do I do? What else do I do? I don't know. This microphone's making me so nervous. I'm going to pass it on to you. Did I give you the nervous?
Oh, you gave me the nervous, all right. As if I wasn't already. So I teach for high school electives. I teach graphic design, which graphic design is in pretty much everything around you. You've got advertising, you've got all sorts of media, you've got websites, you've got everything that you see visually has to do with graphic design. So what the students are going to be using is Photoshop, and they're going to be learning how to combine their knowledge of the elements and principles of art to make pleasing and successful designs that could end up being used in a marketing sort of situation. I'm also teaching digital photography, which, as opposed to traditional photography where you're focused on taking one perfect picture, digital photography is a lot of work on the back end of things where you take a lot of pictures, find the one that you like the best, and then kind of try and work that picture afterwards in programs like Photoshop to make the best image possible. So they are using digital cameras, they're using cell phones, and they're learning about different ways to create great photos. I'm also teaching art club, which will be a great opportunity for students who are particularly interested in art to focus more on what sort of art they like. And I would like to have it be very student directed, where they give me some ideas of what they would like to learn about, and we can go forward from there. The GSA Club is the Gay Straight Alliance, and we will be meeting and talking about various topics that will help a lot of students feel a lot more supported and help them feel a lot more comfortable with their time in school. So, Lindsay.
Now it's my turn. So, the electives I teach up here at the high school, I teach an introduction to theater class, which is where we're exploring a bunch of different plays. We talk about improvisation, we talk about acting. Right now, we're kind of talking about the history of theater. We're reading a Greek play, we're going to go on to Shakespeare, and then some more contemporary stuff. We're also going to be talking about some more technical aspects of theater. We're going to talk about costume design, lighting, sound, set design, and as well as directing and writing and things like that later on in the year. I also teach a music theory class, which is kind of getting into the more technical side of music, reading music, writing music, chord progression, scales, modes, all that fun stuff. And then I also teach a music production and recording class where we get into some basic audio editing, recording, microphones, sound engineering. Right now, my kids are recording podcasts and learning how to edit them using our music software. We're going to be recording cover songs, different instruments, which is really cool, and the kids seem really excited about it. I also do teach choir at the high school and at the middle school. So if you have kids, we definitely have room. We're a little small this year, so if you have any kids that want to come join choir, we would be happy to have them. And I also am in charge of the musical. Like I said, that's going to be starting in the next month or two. We're going to be announcing it, and we'll be having auditions, and the show's going to be in March.
Hi, Mr. Hopkins again. How many current band parents out there right now? Raise your hands. Okay, so I've got a sheet out there with a grading policy and important information about how that works for you. How many former band parents out there? Yeah, don't be embarrassed. Yeah, quite a few I see. So that's what I wanted to address. I know of a particular young man who is a former band student. He played in band last year, was pretty much fully remote most of the year. He was a super band student, and now his what do I want to say? His confidence is completely shot after a year of being remote, and I wish he would come back. So if your child experienced that last year where they weren't able to be a part of the team, they weren't able to feel the joy of making music with other people, because that's the best part, the collaborative part of being with your friends and making music with your friends and people you enjoy who are also good, who help motivate you. Or sometimes you're the best one and you motivate them. If your child experienced that last year, um, have them talk to me. I have talked to a couple of them, and you can come up and talk to me, and maybe there's something we can do to get them back involved and reassure them that it's okay, that last year hopefully will never happen again, and they can get back and be with their friends, and they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be great this year. They just get involved. My daughter's going through a lot of it, and I'm happy she's playing volleyball. So it's been a good thing for her. So maybe band or music or any of these things would be great for your child to get back into the swing of things. So any of those former band parents, please stop and see me and we'll talk. And I see a couple heads nodding because I think you know who I'm talking about. Yep. So anyone who wants to talk about it, we got 2 days to add independent band, maybe change schedules, but that's, whatever. We'll figure something out. And jazz band is an option too if they don't want to come to band or don't want to do independent and they played before and they want to play in jazz band. That's a nice way to get into the swing of things again too. So, okay, thank you.
Hi, it's Erin Milsom again. So I'm the technology teacher. I do have handouts on that table about the electives that I'm teaching. So I'm teaching video game design. In that class, we've already tackled some basic animation. We've analyzed the mechanics of games so that students can really get an idea of what makes something fun to do. We've started some basic programming because students are on all different levels, and later in the year, we are planning to actually program video games collaboratively through Unity, which is a really great platform for video game design. So I'm really excited about that. In our basic electricity class, students are going to be completing projects from everything from making automatic burglar alarms on solderless breadboards to making automatic night lights. We're learning all of the basic theory behind why electricity works and circuitry and all of that. It's a very hands-on class, so students will have some practical knowledge on how to use breadboards, how to set up wires, schematic drawings, and just that practical hands-on knowledge that'll be great for future electrical engineers or people who are interested in working with computers in the future. The last elective that I'm teaching is digital media production. That's a really fun class because we actually do the morning news. So we've been working on getting that up and running and had a few mostly successful broadcasts, still working on troubleshooting, but that's part of the great experience is that students get to learn how to use video equipment, audio equipment. We're using streaming software and we are learning how to really be good newscasters and how to communicate with the entire school and just be professional, enthusiastic, and start Duanesburg out on a good note every single morning. So that's our goal. We have a lot of fun in the classes. So yeah, that's me. That's us. Here you go.
So like I said, my name is Mark Dumoulin. I'm the new business teacher here. I wanted to first say we really need more students in our business courses. There is a statistic from 2018 that 19% of all college degrees were a business degree, but I'm seeing not a great turnout. That doesn't mean that these classes are directly college only, right? I teach a personal finance course where I am giving the skills that everyone needs. How to do taxes, what does depreciation mean? What if I want to get a loan? Questions that I hear all the time from students throughout my career that they need to know. And with our current numbers, we need to keep etching up. I teach a marketing course. For marketing, the students learn the basic principles of marketing, how it works, where they can advertise, promote, and we're going to intertwine those courses with our school store as well as the Eagles outlet. We're really trying to revamp our school store, get more apparel, kind of get more of like a school spirit improved, and as well as showing the students like how each aspects of a business would work. Also accounting, we teach accounting. The accounting students would be involved in the school store, keeping track of our assets, doing the money, making sure we are selling, making a profit. We'll also have our entrepreneurship class coming up with ideas as well as working in the school store to kind of get an idea of what it means to work. Like I said, my main goal is to make sure that the students leave Duanesburg with real life skills that will help them further down the road. It doesn't necessarily have to mean they're going to go to college or whatever their goal is. There are skills that are still need to be taught. And like I said, a lot of majors there have business principles. So I really hope that you would encourage your students and your kids to take more business courses. I've got a couple more ideas to keep it growing, and I want to add an internship program, like I briefly mentioned, that would give the students not only the chance to see what they like, but also see what they don't like, because half the battle is eliminating careers that you're like, wow, I don't ever want to do that. And that way we can help our students focus on what they like and what they want to do when they are done here. But with that being said, thanks for coming. And I hope that you talk to your students a little more about how important business is. And I'd love to have as many as we could take. So thanks.
Okay, so I got my lovely assistant Kevin. He's gonna go get something for me. So a couple of the classes I teach, one of them is wood shop, and it becomes a hobby that more and more people are getting into. So we try to do things that are a little bit more involved. So we make some models for different sheds we build, and then also in wood shop we did a really cool activity a couple years ago, and we plan on doing it this year. Oh, thanks, Mr. Hopkins. That's awesome. So, but we made toboggans in wood shop, and we did steam bending. So this was, we went right from, I went to a sawmill. What? Oh, awesome. Yes. Yeah. So I went right to a sawmill, got the lumber, and then brought it back, and the kids milled it down, and we did the steam bending, and we did the whole process. And it was pretty neat. They made all the jigs to bend everything. And a lot of them really liked that project. So we're going to do it again. And then so the little model doghouse we got up there in the construction systems class, every year we build a shed and it then gets auctioned off at the end of the year. There's a couple of them around the community. There's one across the street from the soccer fields. You can see it's up there. We built that a few years ago, but they're around. And the one this year, the kids picked it out. We already picked out what we're going to do. It's super fancy. Just wait. It's going to take a long time to do this one, but it's going to be awesome when it's done. I let them just go for it. Pretty neat. It's got, I think, 11 windows, but we'll see how that turns out. We may cut that down. So another course besides the construction course, I do DDP, which is design and drawing for production. In that class, they learn how to get their ideas on the paper where people can read them. So a lot of it is some old school drafting, mechanical drafting, but that's important so that they can get their ideas down on paper so they can then get it on the computer. So it's going to be mechanical drafting and computer drafting all at the same time. So they learn all the aspects of it. And that's a cool class. We're going to make a bunch of different products where we design every little piece. They draw all the pieces, and then we actually build and assemble all the pieces. So that should be pretty awesome. It's like 22 kids in there, so it's a big class, and I'm real excited for that. And then I have Introduction to Robotics, which is also a really hands-on class. We build aluminum robots from scratch. They're usually pretty big, like about 50, 60 pounds. And one year we made a robot that could plow the driveways. We made another robot that could sweep the floors. And there was a bunch of different ones that they made. The kids designed these projects. And we build all the pieces, we machine all the pieces. They learn welding, how to use the CNC mill. Sometimes we make parts on the 3D printers that we have. And there's a bunch of skills that they learn in that also, on top of programming and everything else that you might have think is robotics, but we do a lot of the building aspect also. And I think that's about it for me.
Yes, once again, I'm Brett Simpson. I'm actually going to let Katie talk here in a second about PE, as she's primarily the high school PE teacher. I just want to say that if you have a son who plays basketball, we're going to have an interest meeting. So even if they just want to try it this year, we're going to have an interest meeting on Friday at the end of the school day. So they should all know that. It's been in the announcements, but now at least you should know it if they haven't told you yet. So.
All right, every time I get to this microphone, I feel like I'm going to leave a voicemail, and that slightly terrifies me, but that's okay. So for PE, you guys are so lucky because your children are stuck with us their entire high school career and get no break from us. So hopefully they like it. Otherwise, it's a fun road. But basically, for those of you that had children here last year that had to participate in PE in whatever form they did, we luckily get to move a little bit away from that, which is something we're very excited about. I'm pretty sure the kids can only go on so many walks and play foosball so many times before they wanted to just stop doing everything. So this year, we are trying to do a lot more team sports, which we weren't able to do last year. We still have social distancing that we have to do in the gym, but we are trying to really incorporate all those individual fitness components, individual activities, team activities, and kind of get back to the original curriculum that we had before COVID, which is definitely a challenge with PE when everything is very physical. We are still using our Google Classroom for some assignments, but the majority of the grading is really based on their effort. And our big focus for PE is that they're trying. We don't care how great they are at something. We just care that they give it a try, because our main goal is to get them to learn what they do like to do. So when they leave high school, they're more likely to be active. Outside of that, side note on that tech stuff, I spent my entire senior year of high school doing engineering classes, and all I had to say for it was a toothpaste dispenser. Did it work? Questionable. Okay, but having a physical thing like that is actually really cool, and I'm super jealous.
Hi again, I'm Katie Box and I teach Spanish. So I have ninth grade this year. I didn't have them last year's eighth graders. So I'm really excited to be getting to know all of them. And right now we're just reviewing through what they learned in Spanish 1, 7th, and 8th grade, present tense. And hopefully this year we'll get more into past tense, more reading and stuff. But I also like to do a lot of games, like I said before. Every Wednesday we'll do Musica Miracoles, which is like Music Wednesday. And I also teach one section of 10th grade, and Isabel teaches the other section. And last year I got to have the ninth graders, and they always wanted to do Baile Viernes, which a lot of Spanish teachers do, Dance Friday. So, like the last 5 minutes of class or so, I'd always have one student who would always beg me to do it. And she and her friends would all get up and dance, and we pick a Spanish song on YouTube that has a Just Dance video to it, like on the game, and they all do that. And with 10th grade this year, we're reviewing what we learned last year and hopefully getting more into, like I said, even more reading with them, more speaking hopefully this year, especially now because we're in person, and just more interaction as much as possible. It was really hard to do all that last year, so I'm really excited to do that now. And we also teach a lot of culture and just like really want the kids to take Spanish so they can take Isabel's level, Spanish 4 and 5, and use it in college or somehow in their life, and just even if they don't, open up their minds and see that, it's a big world out there. They always look at me really surprised when I say there's 21 Spanish speaking countries, because they usually just think of Spain and Mexico. So we try to teach them that it's more than just that. Thank you.
Hello again, I'm Isabel Kaland. I teach Spanish 3 and levels 4 and 5. Again, levels 4 and 5, students can take for college credit through Schenectady Community College. This month is actually Hispanic Heritage Month, so currently students are learning about famous Hispanic Americans that have really influenced our country. So we're listening to songs, we're reading about those famous people. In the next month, in October, we collaborate with other teachers throughout the country to do a music month called L'Octubre, where students listen to different songs from different countries, from Latin American artists, and they get to vote on their favorite song. And we get to see all the votes throughout the country, and even students that are participating actually in other countries in Europe and South America. So they really, really enjoy that. So we're looking forward to doing that. Also, I'm currently trying to collaborate with some teachers that I do know in Latin America, and hoping to be able to set up like a Skype or Google Meet so that students can actually speak with real heritage speakers. Also hoping to do a couple of projects where we can collaborate with other content areas. So I'm now currently working with Mr. Detando and Mrs. Randu, hopefully trying to do like a nature activity. So collaborating with the outdoor club and the outdoor class, so students can learn vocabulary about nature and create hopefully some brochures for Mr. Detando's outdoor club in Spanish. For level 5, last year was my first year teaching level 5, but it was really, really exciting. Really trying to make the class personable to the students and what they want to go into college. So I had a student last year who was going into nursing. So I did a whole unit on nursing and how that student and everyone else might use Spanish in the real, in their jobs. So at the end of the year last year, their final, they had to make a job portfolio where they created their resume, they filled out a job application. We did mock interviews, and all of it was in Spanish. So it really was a great thing so students could see how they're going to use, hopefully, Spanish in their future jobs and careers. So thank you very much.
Hi, so before we wrap up our time as the special area teachers with you, I did want to also mention that I am the coordinator. I'm Danielle Scheibel again, but I'm the coordinator of the PBIS program here at the junior senior high. PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports. It's a framework that our district uses, grades K through 12, to make sure that we are explicitly modeling, teaching, and reinforcing positive and expected behaviors. On October 8th, which is a Friday, we're going to be having a PBIS day in addition to our pep rally. And during that time in the morning, our students are going to participate in an interactive presentation with Powell Cucciello. who's a fantastic interactive speaker who's going to speak with our students on resiliency and self-care. We thought that those were two very important topics for us to discuss with our students as we're transitioning through this time and transitioning back into a more typical type of school year. We're also going to have our students participate in several different activities that involve, kind of looking at those pieces of self-care as well as giving back to the community. So that will be happening on October 8th. So we appreciate your time. And I believe our content area teachers are going to be shifting in and we'll be rotating to the next group. So thank you very much. Oh, does anyone have any questions? I apologize. Okay, I'm going to pass it off to Mrs. Marvin then.
All right, so I just got a plug for the personal finance and management course. So if you have a child who you would like to learn about personal finance and management, that's a parent just approached me and said that that was really a great course for their student last year. So that's a must-have class, I was told. So you should definitely encourage your child to take it. So they are going to move on to the next presentation that they're going to do, this group of teachers. If you do have a question though, and you want to grab them, you can just get up and they'll chat with you in the back of the room. And then I'm going to have the core teachers all come up to the front and they will be doing their presentation. So thank you guys. So we're just waiting for a couple more teachers to come in because they actually were just presenting to the middle school parents. So once they all get in here, we'll get them started. Because I know you're all very curious as to what our teachers are teaching this year and what is different this year compared to last year, what their expectations are, all that good stuff. So yes, the light is very bright up here, but we are streaming, so that's why it needs to be so bright. It looks like we have everybody here. So they're going to do kind of the same format, except now you're actually going to hear what we do for AP courses, for a number of our core courses, and what each of them, because believe it or not, as you probably just heard, a number of our teachers play multiple roles. They wear multiple hats. So they're each going to be promoting different things. I'm sure that you're going to hear Mr. Heron promote the Rose basketball team because that's what he does. So he'll probably speak more about that than his global class because that's a lot more fun for the kids. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm the first person who's going to speak is one of our school counselors. She's going to present exactly what they do in the school counseling office, and then we'll work down the line. Again, when they finish, they will be milling about, so please ask them any questions that you might have about a course.
Hello, my name is Kelly Hotelling, and I'm one of the school counselors. My caseload consists of students with the last names that begin from A through LA. I'm also the AP coordinator. So if your child is in an AP course this year, you'll soon get a letter of what they're in, payments and such. So that will be on the way with that. And I'm also the class of 2026 advisor. So I told the group before, I've been the donut lady. So if you've been getting notices about Krispy Kremes, thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. We're really happy that the students are here every day in our faces. We love it to have them back. It's been great. It will certainly be a great year.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Goebel. I'm one of the other school counselors here at the high school. I have the end of the alphabet. So I have students whose last names are L-E to Z. So in addition to my role as a counselor, I'm also the PSAT coordinator, DL coordinator, and the class of 2022 advisor. So if you are on your way out, I think we still have some chicken. We're doing our barbecue right now. So stop and get some on the way out. So we work with students for a variety of reasons in the counseling office. For social and emotional reasons, for academics, we do college and career planning. And one of the things we do as far as college and career planning is we use Naviance, which is a college and career readiness tool. So for some of the parents here who have older children, they may be more familiar with that, but we do start working with our students in 7th grade with that. So each year we do different personality assessments, which is really nice because they're able to see as they get older how their personality might change a little bit, and it matches them up with different careers. So it's nice for them to see the difference, even from when they were in 7th grade to where they're at as, juniors and seniors. We do work collaboratively with not only the teachers here, but with you guys as well. So, we are always, able to meet with you guys. This year, I think we're going to be doing it more virtual, but we can meet virtually. If you have any concerns or questions about your students, we can talk on the phone conferences. So we're definitely available for you guys at any point.
In addition to the district website, we do run our own Google website that can be found off the district website, as well as on our email correspondences. They're in our signatures. So we update that regularly with announcements, college visits. Students can find their working papers there. It's very informative from the counseling office perspective. And just as Mrs. Goebel said, we're easily accessible as far as emails and phone calls go. So at any point in time, a student might need to check in, or if you have a concern about something specific, just let us know. We'll gladly meet with your child. On the table outside, we do have brightly colored sheets for our reminds. So if you have not signed up for a remind, it's basically an announcement, or as of right now, we do have college visits that are virtual with our students. So seniors will send out a quick remind a day or two ahead of time so they know that somebody will be here to meet with them. So definitely sign up. The class moves up with them. We don't change the code. So if you sign up once, you're good until they graduate. Any questions for us before we hand the mic over? Okay, awesome. English department, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rebecca Pless, and I'm going to kick things off for the English department. And then when I'm done, I'm going to introduce Mr. Bartlett. This is my 17th year at Duanesburg, and this year I am teaching 9th grade English, and then I'm teaching a 9th grade AP class called AP Seminar, a 10th grade AP class called AP Research, a 12th grade AP class called AP Literature and Composition, and a college and the high school class, which is English 123, and that becomes English 124 in the spring. And I'm also going to speak about Kendra Shadina's AP Lang class for 11th graders and her English 11. So English 9 and English 11 are survey courses. They cover a variety of writing genres and reading genres. English 11 is the Regents level course. So students do ample Regents prep and write essay tasks that will help them be prepared for the Regents exam. And they do a number of short writing pieces, as well as extended writing pieces that are scaffolded and that kind of help them build to Regents competency. English 9 is very similar to that. In AP Seminar, students, 9th graders, actually do a lot of independent research and student-centered research-based learning. And they do a number of presentations and portfolio-based tasks, and then they take an end of course exam. In AP Research, in 10th grade, students do a dissertation style paper, and a 20-minute end of year presentation to present the research that they've done. And then in AP English Language, which is 11th grade, students do prepare for the Regents alongside their AP exam, and then they have an end of course exam with 55 multiple choice questions and 3 essays. That's the same for English Lit in 12th grade, 55 multiple choice question exam, 3 essays. And this coming Friday is the 24th, and that's the last day when students can indicate that they want to change their course level. So if any of your English students want to change their course level, either up or down, they should indicate that to us. As a department, we are working on students' ability to explain the textual evidence that they use to support the claims that they make in their writing, and that's a department-wide goal. So I'm sure Mr. Bartlett can speak to that as well, but students are taking benchmark assessments. Please don't hesitate to ask questions about any of that.
Hi, sorry. I'm Laura Hopkins. I am the department chair for English. I am also pushing into English 9 this year in Miss Plus's class, and I'll be pulling some of your children out for services either during study hall or academic. And if you have any concerns, please reach out to me if it's somebody I see or don't see, and we can kind of go from there. So I also teach 7th grade as well. But again, and I know Rebecca talked about our goal for this year for English. So thank you.
And one last thing, Miss Shadina has Miss Shadina's fun facts sheet outside to give more information about the courses that she teaches.
Thank you. So I'm Andrew Bartlett. This is my first year here at Duanesburg, and I just want to thank you all for being here. And everyone here has given me such a warm welcome, and I instantly feel at home. And I'm just very grateful and happy to be here. I'm teaching 10th and 12th grade English. My seniors right now, I'm trying to have write every single day. Actually, all of my students, I'm encouraging to write every single day. I want to get my students back into that habit of writing. I believe that it's important to do every single class period. My seniors are writing personal narratives right now that many of them will use for their college essays. We're also reading Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller, and so far the kids have really responded well. And we're really I'm having a lot of fun reading literature with kids again in person, and that's just been a really fulfilling experience so far. The department goal is something that we're really working on to have critical analysis and help our students provide textual evidence and support claims that they're making. Assessing credibility is something that I take really seriously. So we'll be doing research soon for 10th graders. I'll have them writing research papers and be in the library a lot and using databases and things that are preparing them for college. That's something that I really take very seriously. In 10th grade, we're reading Walter Dean Myers' Monster right now. And we're talking a lot about our criminal justice system and having a lot of very important debates and difficult conversations around that. It's been really great so far learning about our court system. Students here know a lot more than I was expecting, so it's been really cool to hear about what they know. So I'm just really happy to be here, and thank you so much for your time. And I won't talk long. So. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Karen Knarkowitz. I'm going to kick it off for the Social Studies Department. I teach 9th grade global history, and it is a required class. It's part of the 4-year sequence that students take. We cover from prehistory to the mid 1700s this year. However, even more importantly, we have the Regents coming up in 10th grade. So I feel it's kind of my goal to get them familiar with the type of writing they need to do in 10th grade, the type of document analysis they'll need to do in 10th grade. So we lay the foundation for that. I'll be using Google Classroom again for most assignments. So that can be a good tool to keep track of students' work that might be missing. The other 2 courses I teach are electives. I teach senior seminar for the first time this year, which I'm really enjoying. It's a group of seniors who are interested in going on to college, helping them through the application process, but also more than that, kind of helping them with some of the life skills. We're going to we did a little lesson on Friday on procrastination and how to kind of overcome procrastination. and how everybody is a procrastinator, and also that type of thing, to help them kind of get transition to the next phase in their lives. The other elective I teach is sociology. It's a college course through SECC for 3 credits. Um, there is a research paper in that course where they look at sociological research that has been done and they analyze it. And then there's a final exam. So that's a great course, by the way, for students that it's a great first college course for students that maybe haven't been in AP classes before. It's very, I think it's very manageable, and it's a high interest type of course as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Herron.
Well, thank you. I feel like I should be singing here. You guys want to hear a little show tune or something? There we go. So turn it off. Yeah, I've got her in there. Just turn them off. That's it. So I am Chris Herron. I'm the department chair. I start off with 10th grade. So I have all 10th grade students. For Global 10, the Regents course, it is primarily starting with 1600s and we go all the way up to today. The goal of the department revolves around writing. And a big part of our Regencies, both in 10th and 11th grade, is essays and CRQs, which are critical response questions. And so we spend a lot of time with writing. We spend a lot of time discussing and going over different types of interpretations of history. We read different documents from all different perspectives of history and talk about it and form their own opinions and discuss it. And so that's a big part of the course. And of course, it all leads to the dreaded Regents at the end that everybody has to take. And that's pretty much that course. I also teach AP World, which is kind of the same idea, but it starts with the 1200s, goes all the way up to today, and it is an AP course. So we have several teachers that teach AP courses up here. It's a very rigorous course. It's a lot of at-home work. The textbooks they get stay at home because we don't really use them in classroom. We don't have time. They have to read and do that stuff on their own. And so when they come to class, that should already be done. And we start discussing and we read secondary sources and we interpret these sources and form arguments, and then we argue. And so kids get to sit there and argue with each other. So that's always fun. And so they spend a lot of time working on that, and that kind of develops into their writing. And that's how you write in AP and basically substantiate your thoughts and your opinions. So that's AP. They also have to take the Regents though at the end, so they kind of get hit twice. They have to not only take the AP exam in May, and then they take it again in June. Okay, the Regents, the regular Regents, and then the scores for AP don't come out until like July. I don't know. It was like the end of July this year. Usually it's like the second week of July that we find their scores. And that's pretty much those 2 courses. So any 10th graders, I have them. 11th grade is Mr. Scalakamp. He's not here. He has golf. He is the golf coach, and they are doing great. I think 1 loss now, right, out of their whole season. And so for US, very similar to global as far as how it works, being the goal of a lot of writing, discussion. It's a survey course from pre-Columbus to the present. Course ends with the Regents exam in June that, just like the others, will also count as their final exam. So it's 1/5 of their overall grade. So a lot of kids always ask, do I have to pass this in order to pass the class? Well, in order to do well, yes, because it counts as 1/5. So it is a big part of their grade to go forward. He also teaches AP US, which is very similar. It's got the content from US history. However, it has the rigor of an AP course. And I think it's important to note that AP teachers, we don't make the curriculum. We just have to enforce the curriculum. So there's a lot of stuff that College Board throws at us and says, you have to have them do this. And so kids have to do that. It's not really us saying you have to do that. That's in order for them to get credit and get the college credit and everything else, they have to complete that. So that's really the big difference between those. So he teaches AP Gov as well. I will say AP Gov is a lot more debating, a lot more discussion, and sharing of opinions. So that's a pretty heated topic, especially now. And the kids get into it, and it's pretty fun to listen to. We also, Mr. Scalakamp and I teach economics and participation in government. So seniors will take one of us, depending on who they have. They do have requirements that they have to fill for participation in government. We're trying to prepare them and make them good citizens. So whether you know it or not, you're going to sign a paper that is going to say you understand that they have to complete these and in order to pass the class, and they have to pass that class in order to graduate. So hopefully they bring that home and kind of share with you. They can register to vote. They can donate blood. They can volunteer. There's a whole list of things that they can do in order to fill their requirements for the course. I think that's about it. As a department, we do several field trips. We'll be going to DC in a month or so. We also typically try to go to Proctor's when it's open. We usually, with English, we'll kind of do something like that. We've gone to the jail in the past. I'm not sure that's going to open up for seniors to go and talking about the legal system and how it works. But I think that's about it for me. And here's Mr. Randall, the new guy.
Hi, my name is Adam Randall. I've been a teacher at DCS for 2 years, so if you want to call it new, that's fine. But so I primarily teach 7th and 8th grade social studies. So those of you that have 9th graders now, I had them last year, and it was a pleasure. I am here because I also teach a high school elective called anthropology. It's super interesting. Our numbers are low, but we are strong 2 people in this class. It's super interesting, and we have a lot of fun, even though there's not that many of us. But really, what we're doing is we go through all of the different subjects of anthropology: cultural anthropology, physical anthropology, linguistics, and archaeology. Right now, we're focusing on cultures. We're really learning about differences in cultures around the world and how it kind of affects the way that we think and interact with each other. So I also coach track as well. So if you have a son, daughter that is participating in track or would like to participate in track, you can send them my way and I can tell them all about it and how much fun we have. So that's kind of my spiel, and I will pass it on to the science department.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mr. Tenhagen. Most of the students call me by Mr. T, so if any of your students say Mr. T, they're going to be talking about me. Now, I'm teaching a lot of different. They're laughing. They don't know who that is. They have no idea. It goes over their head. So I'm all over the place. I pretty much teach every grade. I'm doing a lab for transitional living environment. I'll let Miss Gregory get more into the specifics of that. We kind of team up for that class together. I am also teaching non-Regents Earth Science. Non-Regents Earth Science is very similar to the Regents Earth Science class, but in non-Regents Earth Science, we have a little bit more breadth. We have a little bit more space to kind of relax and focus in really on topics that students will have a hard time with. We talk about things like the weather, geology, and astronomy are the main focuses for that class. I also teach physics. I teach Regents Physics. And if any of you have a student that's in Regents Physics, I know a lot of them were a little scared at the start of the year. Regents Physics does have a reputation of being a relatively difficult task. And that's been a really rewarding experience. And that a lot of them have come back and told me they're no longer scared of the Regents. They've really been enjoying the class. And my philosophy with Regents Physics is there's a lot of math in Regents Physics and a lot of word problems and kind of figuring out what's in the word problems. And we kind of tackle the problems as a large group and try to talk through them and problem solve them together. And I think when the students are involved in that process, it ends up helping their ability to understand it much better when we tackle it as one big team. The last high school class I am teaching is UHS Environmental Science. UHS Environmental Science is a college course. They can get college credit for it. And we're talking about the environment, the world around us, and how humans and other animals are really interacting with it and maybe causing harm or helping the environment around them. In this class, I'm hoping to do a lot of hands-on discussions and lab activities because a big portion that the college wants us to cover in UHS environmental science is how the environment plays into economics and how it plays into social interactions between people is another part of it too. And we're doing a lot of large scope projects. Like right now, we're having all the students build a closed ecosystem. We're calling them an eco column, where we're actually going to put a fish in it. We're going to start to grow plants, not pants. That'd be fun though too. We should do that. That'd be awesome.
You grow khakis?
Yeah, grow some khakis for Mr. Randall. We're gonna grow some plants and we're gonna monitor the ecosystem and see how it changes. All right, the comedian's turn is over. I'll pass it over to Miss Gregory.
Hi, everybody. I'm Melissa Gregory. I'm the department chair for the science department. I teach 8th grade science, Regents chemistry, and transitional living environment. And so to just communicate with you what our department goal is. As a whole, we're working with our students to improve their writing skills so that they can analyze scientific data, but also communicate what they've analyzed. And so all of us are using different techniques throughout our classroom and trying to improve those writing skills with each and every one of our students. I did want to mention that this year, we had it last year as well, but we all have academic period at the end of the day. And so if your student needs extra help or wants to meet with one of us, they just need to make arrangements and we can pull them from their academic period to meet with us so that they can receive any extra help that they might need. If you have any questions about the science department, goals or chemistry or transitional living environment, which is just a 2-year living environment class. So my students will take the Regents in June. Last year, they took the first year. It's just a little bit of extra time to make sure that they have mastered the skills that they need to pass the Regents. But anyway, if you have any questions about any of the science issues at hand, please feel free to email any of us and we will be sure to reply. Okay, I would like to introduce Mr. Jenkins.
Thank you. My name is Ben Jenkins. I teach the first year of transitional living environment this year, Regents living environment, and then AP biology. Like Ms. Gregory was saying, transitional living environment, it's a 2-year course that kind of focuses on the skills and kind of the techniques that are needed to prepare any student who needs a little bit of extra support to do well on the Regents, because at the end of the day, that is always our goal, is to get them to where they need to be, to get them in a good position for graduating. So we go through pretty much everything that we do in a Regents level course. We do a lot of the frameworks that can help lead to the good habits that they need when it comes to a Regents course. So we do things like keep lab folders. We go through the same topics. We just do it at times at a little bit of a slower pace in a way that makes sure that that no one is falling through the cracks. About Regents living environment, one thing that I'm hoping, if you have a student in a Regent science, you have signed a document that we as a science department put out. It just lets you guys know that the state of New York has a requirement for 1,200 minutes of lab time, and typically all of us in any given year blow past that significantly. But if a student does not receive a passing grade on some of these labs, then they may not get credit towards those lab minutes. So our goal is throughout the year to have support periods to make sure that all students meet that requirement. And so like Ms. Gregory was saying, that academic period, sending us an email, all of those things do help keep it on our radar so that we can make sure everyone come June has everything that they need to sit for the Regents. AP biology, boy, it's a beast of a course. I really enjoy teaching it. Typically, the other AP teachers will know very, very quickly if we had a test, because there is a lot of complaining. But they, as much as they enjoy complaining about it, it seems like, the last couple of years that I've been teaching it, the kids have enjoyed it. It does, I think, prepare them pretty well for getting a better idea of what science is going to be like in college. One thing I do want to throw out there, if anyone is planning on majoring in any science, that redoing that once you get to college, especially if it's going to be your major, is big priority. It helps them, go through that college level science, but with a little bit more understanding of what is expected of them. And now, Miss Hillenbrand.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Sylvan Brandt. I'm my 5th year associate. I teach, well, I actually have kind of a crazy schedule. I start out over at the elementary school. I now teach 6th grade science over there, which I'm having an entire blast with 6th graders. So if any of you have younger ones, they'll have me when they get to 6th grade. We're making messes. We're having a great time. I also teach research science, and I am now teaching a class once again called Contemporary Issues in Science. It's really a student driven class. I teach at distance learning. I have another school from up by the Canadian border that comes in. We have big screens and everything. And it's basically we would cover issues that the kids are interested. Right now, I'm doing climate change uh, with them, and we're learning a little bit because I used to teach environmental. So we're doing a little bit about climate change and what's happening, and they get to make the decision, their own decision on how they feel about climate change and how, um, if we make changes, we can help the environment. I am happy to be teaching earth science in person again this year, and I'm really excited because the 10th graders did not have Mr. Jenkins for lab last year. So I was concerned that they weren't sure about how to get the labs done, getting them done because we need the 1,200 minutes. We've already done 3 labs and we're already on our 4th one. They are lab machines without even having Mr. Jenkins. I'm very, very happy about that. And I am also the class of 2023 advisor. We'll be having a Uncle Sam's candy sale for Christmas, and we're going to be doing the barbecue at the budget vote. I am also the turtle lady. If you have heard about Jeffrey and now Jesse, I am the one that has the 2 turtles in my classroom. They were home with me over the summer, and I'm really glad to say they're back. They are here. I was just cleaning one of the turtle tanks before I came in here. So if you hear about the turtles, Jeffrey was found by one of my students a couple of years ago. He is now graduated, but he does check in with me to see how he is. He is here, and Jessie was found in the hallway out here and was almost sucked up by the floor cleaner. And gentleman brought her outside. The birds went after her, so she was deposited in Jeffrey's tank, and he didn't like sharing. So now I have 2 tanks in my room. My room is in 112. If you want to say hello, they're in there. They're very friendly, and so if your kids talk about the turtles, that's me. So I am now going to pass it on to Matt.
Okay, I am Karen Bliss. This is my 23rd year at Duanesburg. Yay! And I'm tagging along with the science department because this year I'm teaching forensics. So it's kind of cool because I last saw these kids as in math 7, a lot of them, and now I'm seeing them as seniors, which is very, very neat. And forensics has been really fun so far. Um, I can say that I truly think the kids are happy to be in school. Um, I mean, every day they're coming in with a smile on their face and they're ready. So it's awesome to have them back. And now my math hat is I am teaching transitional algebra 1 this year, which is the 2nd year of the 2-year algebra class. Again, giving the kids 2 years to get ready for the algebra regents, which the transitional algebra class will take in June of 2022. And I also teach 2 algebra classes, algebra 1, and again, they're going to take the regents in June of 2022. So I have 3 regents classes and then forensics. Oh, and I also teach algebra lab. Yes, Christina reminded me. So sometimes I will go into a study hall and say, okay, let's meet, you, and you. Like I assess with exit tickets quite frequently to see how the kids are doing. And if they aren't doing well on a certain topic, then I grab them and we go and we work on the math. And usually I go push into a period 4 study hall, but I also take kids from academic period. So if your son or daughter needs any help with algebra, tell them to come seek me out and we'll work on it. Mrs. Crane.
All right, so my name is Mrs. Crane. You may recognize me as Miss Grozade. So if you saw that your student had Crane on their geometry, next to their geometry name, that's just me. So this year I teach Math 7, I teach geometry, and I teach a Sienna computer programming and multimedia course. So for geometry, I have the the pleasure of having all of my algebra students again for the second year, which is wonderful since they haven't taken a Regents yet. Usually they will have already taken the algebra Regents, but this year this will be their first one. So it's wonderful to already have them. I know their strengths. I know the areas where we need a little bit of improvement before the Regents. So that is really wonderful to have them again. For my computer programming course, I only have 3 lonely students, um, but it's a really great opportunity for students who are really into computer programming. It is a Siena course, so they at the end get 3 credits to Siena College, which is wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Um, we really have a great time in there, so hopefully we can get some more interest in that to boost that a little bit. I'm also the 9th grade class advisor. So this year, for any of you who bought Pure Vita bracelets, so they're just these little bracelets right here. You have yours on? They are Duanesburg colors, so we will be selling those starting, I think, the second week of October. We'll sell those for 2 weeks, so hopefully those are in for Christmas time. So I'm hoping if you have a 9th grader, please ask them about it. Please get them to sell those. We were not all in person last year, so we did still sell a good amount, but we can definitely reach a lot more people. So be on the lookout for that. And we will also be selling Uncle Sam's chocolate during Easter time. So be on the lookout for that as well. Additionally, I am the modified girls volleyball coach and the JV basketball coach.
Hello, my name is Lisa Delarocco. I am the math chair. So again, as others have said, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I also teach Algebra 2 sections. I'm very excited to teach this group. I told them I would see them through. They have yet to take a Regents, and I told them that I am I was going to see them through because I would never want someone to take the Algebra 2 Regents as their first math Regents. Like, it's for an advanced Regents diploma. So there in the title lies why I would not want to do that first. But this is how it is, and we're going to go through it for it. We're doing a great job so far. If you have any questions, please ask me. I pull lots of kids. That's my other part of my job is I'm the extra help person. I work 7th grade on up. I pull kids, I push in classes, I help with academic periods. So I have my own students, I have everybody else's students, and that's what I do. I'm also the NHS advisor, and one of the things that they do is they do peer tutoring through the guidance office, and they left. And it's on, you can sign up on their website, and NHS students, and it's for elementary as well. So if you have younger students, they do that as well. It can be in person, kind of depends. See, last year we did it all virtual. So if it's high school, it'll be easier because they're here. But if it's elementary, they will have to finagle if you want it in person. One of our goals as the math department is also a writing goal, and it's to focus on the keywords on the Regents because they don't like to write about math. They think it's all numbers and they should not have to write words. So that's one of our goals. There was something I thought of, but maybe not. I have the pleasure of introducing our newest member, Mrs. Cresto.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mrs. Crasto. I teach Math 8 in the middle school, but in the high school, I teach transitional math. It's the first half of the 2-year algebra course. So in this first year, our goal is to really get a lot of those foundational skills that students struggle with, to build those up so when they take the Regents next year, they're more confident, they have all the skills and tools they need. I also, as part of my job, I do a lot of math lab work. So what that means is I'm pulling out students in study halls or academic period. I'm also, if students want extra help, they can come see me and initiate it. But during that time, we're working on assignments maybe they struggled with, going over notes they missed while they were out, or really just going over a concept maybe that they never understood. It's been 3 years, they still are having a hard time combining like terms. We're gonna keep practicing it together. If you have any questions, you can always reach me by email. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Vale. I've been teaching math here since the year 2000. So you can do the math on that. And this year, that was pretty bad. This year, I'm teaching 5 different courses. One of them is non-Regents geometry. Sort of like what Mr. Tenhagen was saying about, excuse me, his non-Regents earth science class. We have a little more leeway in there to take some more time on concepts that are more difficult. In fact, I got rid of one of the units that students hate in the regular, or most students hate in the Regents geometry, that geometric proof's all about writing. That's probably why they don't like it. So I got rid of that. One girl switched into my non-Regents geometry just because of that fact a few years ago. But anyway, I also teach Math 12, which is a course for seniors who either need an extra math credit before they graduate, or maybe need a year of math so they don't have a big lull between their junior year and their first year of college where all of a sudden they have to take a math class and they forgot a bunch of stuff. I also teach 3 UHS courses. I have UHS Algebra, UHS Pre-Calc, and also UHS Calculus. And I can't remember, was it like 60 something bucks a credit? I can't even remember what it's supposed to be, but it's really cheap if your students want to get credit for those classes. It's like, I know pre-calc and calc used to be 4 credits each, and I know algebra is only 3 credits this year, but it's relatively cheap to get those courses to count for college credit. And I think that's pretty much it. Hey, here's Miss Benjamin to close things up for us tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Vale. I'm Polly Benjamin. I know many of you already from your years at the elementary school. I just wanted to take a moment to reintroduce myself in my new role. I'm now an assistant principal with the district, and I'm working in the junior senior high school. So your students have probably been seeing me a little bit. Maybe they remember me, maybe they don't. And you may be hearing from me as the year goes on. So thank you all for being here, and all of you as well. The teachers will be milling around a little bit near their stations in the hallway if you want to check in or have some additional questions for them. Thank you.
Teachers will grow pants.